Cruise news time, and we've got a cruise mom out there frightened, terrified at what may happen to her kids because of a change to her upcoming cruise, and the results are in. I asked people their approach to assigned gratuities, whether they remove them, never, always, sometimes. And yeah, the results are interesting. That plus a whole lot more. Cruise news and my views. Let's talk about it. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to La Lido Loca. I am your host, Tony, here ready to set the cruise news before your face on a Sunday, December the 1st, 2024. Man, I can't believe it's December already. It feels like it was just 2020. Time is flying. And we got some wild cruise news stories for you today. I also have a story about the potential volunteer opportunity on a Carnival cruise ship. Maybe you'd like to volunteer to be a laundrette supervisor. I don't know if it's going to be a real opportunity, but I will tell you about it. But first, let's talk about a story that's unfolding over there in the realm of Royal Caribbean. We have a mother who back in April booked a cruise on the Symphony of the Seas. And this cruise was supposed to include a port stop in San Juan, Puerto Rico. And well, just recently the mom was notified that the port stop in San Juan, Puerto Rico isn't going to happen. And instead, the Symphony of the Seas will be taking her and her family to Haiti, to Liberty. And while normally the change of a cruise itinerary is part and parcel when it comes to talking about cruising, this particular port's been under some scrutiny lately. The US government has advised that no one travel to Haiti. There's been unrest, there's been unruliness, there's been recent incidents of aeroplanes being fired upon. And so I don't think it's that unusual for anybody that's scheduled to go to a place where the government's saying not to go to, might have some questions. Especially if you read through that government warning where they say don't go because you might not get medical attention because people are getting kidnapped. I could see those kind of things start to play on you a little bit. And well, the mom that booked this cruise on the Symphony of the Seas took it all in and said, could I just have my money back? We really wanted to go to San Juan and I didn't really sign up for Haiti because I'm worried about Haiti and now I got to go to Haiti, and can I just have my money back? And well, Royal Caribbean said, you can have some of your money back. You can have the port fees and stuff back, but we're not going to give you your cruise fare back because you're not canceling according to our cancellation policy. And well, as you can imagine, the lady is none too happy about it. I want to share a quote with you from this cruise mom. She's saying that they're in the last minute process of, trying to decide whether or not to go on this cruise. The quote is, are we going to go? Are we going to compromise ourselves? Are my kids going to get kidnapped? Is something going to happen on the ship? Other people can take that chance. We really don't want to do that. And so she really is between a rock and a hard place. If her conviction is as strong as that quote there, then seemingly she will cancel her cruise but not get any of her money back. And certainly facing that reality, she's saying, well, that's just not fair. She's also making some statements that she thinks that the company is just jerking people around, that they can make more money if they take people over to Labadee because that's their private island opposed to stopping in San Juan. However, there is some other extenuating circumstances that, do kind of flesh out why they can't go to San Juan. Back in April, the pier that handles the big ships there got damaged. It's not completely repaired yet. And so no big Symphony of the Seas type style big ships can stop at that pier in San Juan. And that's what predicated the change. So I don't think there's a lot of validity in the complaint that it's the old switcheroo to get more money out of people. But look, it's that pesky cruise contract. Cruising is a weird vacation type. When you book a cruise, the very end of that process is making a contractual agreement with the cruise company that you will abide by the document that they put before you that you sign that says, okay. And I don't know that everybody reads it. It's vast and it's dense and there's a lot of stuff in it. I don't think, I've probably read one. I don't necessarily read the cruise contract, but I do know for sure that in all of these contracts, there are provisos that the cruise company can change the itinerary. They can even change the ship. They can change the embarkation and the disembarkation port, and they don't have to give you anything. Zero. Nothing. Now, fortunately, a lot of times cruise companies will give you stuff in the event of those extenuating circumstances. So it's tough if you decide to cancel your cruise a week before you're probably not going to get any money back. I can certainly empathize with this mom. She doesn't have a lot of choices. You know, the choice of cancellation is going to equal a loss of money. And this is a trip they said they've been paying for since they booked it in April. So there's a lot invested in it. I guess you could go to Labadee and not get off of the cruise ship. And, you know, let me just say this. Labadee is kind of self-contained in Haiti. You know, there's a perimeter fence, there's security, all that kind of stuff. They work really hard to keep cruise passengers safe. And I've made this point many times before. It is not in the best interest of the cruise company to take you somewhere where you would be unsafe, because an incident of unsafetiness would be detrimental to being able to sell. You know, if some cruise company had a reputation for not keeping their passengers safe, then who would book that cruise company? So there's a good reason for the cruise companies to think through this and to try to do the things that are going to keep their passengers safe. You could go to Labadee and not get off of the cruise ship, but certainly most people, when they go on their cruise, they want to explore the ports of call. Again, rocking a hard place, but I think for all of us, maybe just a good reminder that pesky cruise contract exists, and canceling your cruise is not the easiest thing to do. And while sometimes exemptions are made, that doesn't seem to be the norm. What do you think in this circumstance? Do you think Royal should make an exemption for this mom concerned about going to Haiti, concerned about her kids being snatched up? You know, if you're to the point where you're going to say like, hey, I'm worried that my kids are going to be kidnapped, this is weighing heavily on you. So what do you think? Do you think she should get some sort of compensation? Maybe just the ability to move the cruise or something? That, you know, that's not always easy, but it seems like that's, I don't know. What do you guys think? Leave a comment below. Cruise news story number 2 takes us to Louisiana, takes us to New Orleans specifically, and it takes us to a whole bunch of passengers that are waking up or found out last night that their bucket list journey cruise is being delayed because of engine issues and people issues. Cruisers scheduled to start their 14-day Journeys cruise on the Carnival Liberty have been notified that on the previous cruise, there was a medical evacuation that delayed that cruise, and then compounding it, there was also mechanical issues that have slowed the propulsion, slowed the ability for that cruise ship to get back to New Orleans. Carnival Liberty was supposed to return to the Big Easy this morning between 7 and 8 a.m., It now looks like it will be much later in the day. Guests that are booked on that 14-day Journeys cruise have been told to extend their embarkation time by 9 to 9.5 hours. They've been told that if they show up to the cruise port early, they will be turned away and told to return. It does look like at the time of this recording, the Liberty has entered the mouth of the Mississippi River. It is getting close to New Orleans, but there's still a lot to do on that cruise ship. Passengers will have to leave their cabin. Those cabins will have to be cleaned and made ready for new passengers. There'll have to be a disembarkation and then an embarkation. It's expected that the Carnival Liberty won't leave New Orleans tonight until after 11 p.m. Guests that were supposed to embark on the Carnival Liberty today have been given a $25 onboard credit that they can use once their cruise begins. $25 was given in recognition that because the embarkation will be delayed, that most cruisers will have to get a lunch there in New Orleans, and a very special dining circumstance tonight on the Liberty. When people get on board, they can go directly to the main dining room. All dining times are kind of thrown out the window. It's going to be a first come, first served. But look, that's cruising. Ships get delayed. Hopefully whatever mechanical issue is beleaguering the Liberty will not mess up this 14-day Journeys cruise. And this next cruise is a nice one. It has a Panama Canal aspect to it. Grand Cayman, Curacao, Cartagena, Cologne, Costa Rica, Cozumel, Aruba. Those are some great cruise stops. So yeah, like I said, fingers crossed that the mechanical issues do not carry on and that the Liberty will be able to do this bucket list cruise. I'm just trying to think what the latest I ever returned to port was. I don't think it was ever like in the evening like that. I think I've returned after a hurricane one time. I think we got into port like at 2 or 3 in the afternoon, but not much later than that. What's the latest you ever got back to a cruise port? Leave a comment below. Now let's circle back around to the conversation we were having about power adapters on cruise ships. Yesterday I was telling you, hey, we're in the middle of the Black Friday Cyber Monday swing, and I recommended my favorite power adapter to you, this Anchor 140 watt power adapter. I've taken this thing on a lot of cruises. I don't think there's a cruise since I bought it that I haven't taken it on. I threw it up on the screen. I left a link in the description. And a few people said, I don't think that's allowed on Royal Caribbean anymore. And I was thinking about it. I was like, well, I took this very power adapter on the Utopia of the Seas back in July, but I do think there was a change in Royal Caribbean's policy since then. I did go and look it up. I don't think my anchor, I don't think I should try to tank this anchor on a Royal cruise anymore, but I did find another Cyber Monday thing that you could take on a Royal cruise. It's this 6-port USB power hub. I did use something similar to this back in the day, but it had 6 USB-A ports. And now we're kind of moving into the age of USB-C. I think most of my devices have USB-C. So I went ahead and ordered this today. So at least I've got half and half, 3 USB-Cs, 3 USB-As, and this should work on Royal Caribbean. Yeah, I'll leave a link for this one down in the description. And like I said yesterday, if you're doing any Amazon shopping, check out my link there just to take a look at this power adapter and get that if that works for you. But once you're there on Amazon, you can look for other stuff and that will be beneficial to the channel. So thank you guys so much. Hopefully your shopping is going good. Hopefully you haven't blown your budget. I'm going to keep recommending stuff as we go toward Christmas. So be on the lookout for more cruise recommendations. Cruise news story number 4. Like I said, there might be a new volunteer opportunity on Carnival Cruise Lines. I'm being facetious. I don't think there's going to be a volunteer opportunity, but there was a concerned cruiser that wrote into Carnival brand ambassador John Heald saying, hey, look, you need to post an employee in all of the self-service laundry rooms on your cruise ship because people leave their laundry in the washer and the dryer when other people need to use it. And I can attest and I can affirm what this cruiser is saying. Most certainly, every time I've used the laundry room on a cruise ship, most of the machines have clothes waiting to be tended to, either moved from the washer to the dryer or moved out of the dryer out of the way to get folded up. Most of the time, you don't have somebody sitting there tending their laundry, and so it becomes a little bit of a game like, okay, did they move the laundry yet? Oh, they did move the laundry, but somebody else got in front of me. I can see the frustration of the cruise passenger, but the call to put an employee in every laundrette, it's just not feasible. What frightens me is that eventually, if people complain about it so much, the better way might be to do away with the laundrettes. There's some cruise lines that don't have them. I think even on Carnival, there's some of their newer ships, they don't have self-service laundry. So got to be careful what you wish for. Sometimes the easiest solution is to take it away, and I certainly don't want to see that. How do you guys manage the self-service laundry? What are some of your tips, tricks, and techniques? Leave a comment below. Now I got to tell you about the surprising results from the La Lita Loca cruising tipping poll that I ran here. 3,200 people responded, and it was a little surprising. I'm gonna tell you all about it, but first, let me quickly invite you to subscribe. If you like staying up to date with everything going on in cruising, please consider subscribing with the notification bell on. That way you don't miss out on any of these episodes. Okay, here is the poll results. So I asked, do you make changes to your daily gratuities? 75% of the respondents of the 3,200 people that answered, never. 10% said only if something bad happens. 5% said every time. And 9% said, I did not know you could do that. The surprising thing to me, the 75% never, wasn't surprising. The 10% only if something bad happens, not super surprising. The every time was the one that surprised me. 5% of the people said that every time they go on a cruise, they make changes to their daily gratuities. That means a trip down to customer service. I don't know if 5% is high or low, but if we're thinking about 3,200 votes, 10% would be 320. Half of that would be 160. So we're saying 160 people that responded to this poll said that they change their gratuities every time they go on a cruise. So they go to customer service. Is that a lot? That no wonder the customer service line is long, because if you extrapolate that out across the whole amount of people that cruise, then yeah, I get, that's wild. Do you think maybe they should make an automated way to change your gratuities? Would that encourage more people to change their gratuities? Certainly would probably help the customer service line. I've never changed my gratuity, but I assume they don't push hard back on you. I don't thought, maybe do they ask why? I don't know. Have you ever done it? Do they ask you anything? That would be interesting to know. Boom. That is your cruise news for Sunday. I also left a little secret link in the first comment below about something I think every cruiser should have that's pretty inexpensive on Amazon. Check that out if you like. Thank you so much for watching this show. Hope you're having a fantastic weekend. This is Tony for La Lita Loca. Till the next time, we'll see you on the Lido. Bye. Cruise.